One family in Everett received a gift you can't wrap this Christmas, but if you could, the label would say, it's going to be okay. John from Tunnel to Towers, the giver of this remarkable and generous gift, is with us today. Hey, John, welcome to Spirit 105.3.
Hey, Erica.
It's so good having you here. You all have helped so many people, and the work you do is so beautiful. What is the Tunnel to Towers story?
Okay, so Tunnel to Towers started after September 11th. A young man who had 5 children, Steven Zilla, was off duty and a firefighter that was going to go play golf with his brothers. He then listens over the radio about a plane hitting the World Trade Center. He's in the Brooklyn side, and he goes to the nearest firehouse, and the tunnels and bridges were closed. So he puts on about 70 pounds of gear and his bunker gear and runs through the tunnel, and it's documented that rescued people on video, and his body was never recovered. So his siblings all got together, and they decided they're going to take something tragic and do some good. And then 21 years later, the last couple of years, we've been paying off over 200 mortgages for fallen first responders, Gold Star, building smart homes for catastrophically injured military and first responders, so they have a little more independence in their life.
Wow. We are right now in this season of hope, and you all just did something remarkable. You really made a Christmas miracle for a family in Everett. Would you share Kelly's story with us?
Yeah, so think about this. Dan was killed, also Rocha, was killed in March 25th of 2022. So the family is now going through their first year of not having their loved one with them during the holidays. So as they sit around that table and there's an empty chair, and Dan's not coming home. I watched the video of his encounter, and what a professional. He was amazingly respectful, wasn't overly forceful, and it cost his life. And he died in such a tragic way, and now his wife and his 2 sons don't have him. So we made a commitment at Tunnel to Towers that we would pay off the mortgages of our Gold Star families, our fallen first responders, if they leave behind children. It's the least we can do.
Yeah.
So during the season of hope, it's very tough for these families. So they know we can never replace their loved one.
Right.
But we just took an enormous financial burden off their shoulders. As one spouse told me, at least I have time now to think about and be able to grieve.
Yeah.
And have the process and not be worried about where does the next check come in and how do I pay this and how do I put away money for college.
Wow.
You know, this is just something that is amazing.
The work that you all do gives me the good goosebumps, and it's so needed. You're taking care of families and you're honoring their heroes. Heroes like Officer Daniel Rocha, who was also a husband and a father.
This man was having a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And he saw what was going on outside. And instead of just saying, I'm just going to have my coffee and stay away from this, he walked towards that danger, and he didn't come home.
It is heartbreaking, and yet because of the work that you all do, his wife Kelly and their kids can stay in their home. And I know it's got to be a great relief to her in the midst of everything. How is she doing?
Well, you know, she's still heartbroken, but she understands that this will help with her being able to care for her children. And that's what it's about, our program. It's about the children.
That's right. John, what does it mean to you to be involved with Tunnel to Towers?
Well, I'm a former New York City detective. I did 21 years. I had a partner that was killed. And organizations like this didn't exist. So I'm the vice president of all the programs, military, smart homes, and our fallen first responders, and our Gold Stars, and COVID-19, and 9/11 illnesses. So we've grown so big. And this all started around the kitchen table by the Silla siblings.
Wow.
We just had a staff meeting, and there was one table during that conversation in 2001. Now, at our staff meeting, there were 17 tables of staff. And we do this all over the United States. We've done Alabama, Florida, Oklahoma, California, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Washington, Massachusetts, and Connecticut during this season of hope. And it's just to put a little smile on their face. We can't replace their loved one, but we can make it easier for them.
I can't thank you enough. You're doing God's work. Thank you so much for
Thank
catching
you,
the
Erica.
spirit.
Well, you're an amazing person, and you're so upbeat. Thank you for your time.
Oh,
I
well,
really
thank you.
appreciate it.
I grew up in New York, so I'm really appreciating your voice
There
this
we go.
morning. Yes.
So you actually understood me.
I understood every word. Hey, John, Merry Christmas to you and everybody
Merry
you love.
Christmas. Happy New Year.